Okay, Dominique Lloyd-Walter, a few questions for you. First off, what was your childhood ambition?
As a child, I always knew that I'd end up playing squash after I left school, and always wanted to get to the top 10 in the rankings, and just become the best possible squash player I could be.
At what age did you first know that?
Well, I started playing at 7. Probably knew that I wanted to become a professional squash player by the age of about 12, 13.
Excellent. And if your closest friends would describe you in 3 words?
It's a tricky one. Loyal. Can get quite stressed out easily. And generally a good person, I think.
What was the best advice you received early in your squash career?
I've gone blank.
Let's go on to a different question. If it wasn't for blank, I would never have attained my current level of success.
If it wasn't for funding and sponsorship, then I definitely couldn't have got to the level I've got to today.
Very good. And if you had more time and money, what would you do?
I'd go on holiday more with my family and friends. I've seen a lot of the world by playing squash, but I'd definitely like to see all these places with the people that I love.
If you could play another sport professionally, what would it be?
Tennis, purely for the money.
And if you could spend one day with any person, living or dead, sports or not, who would it be?
Probably my granddad.
Oh, very good answer. Do you have any pet peeves?
Any
pet peeves, things that really bother you?
rudeness in people.
I suppose that's fair. Is there what would be your favorite sporting event to attend if you could pick one?
Definitely Wimbledon. I've been a few times, but I love the whole atmosphere there, and just the whole vibe you get at the place.
Good. And let's see, I think we've got more at the top here. How did you get started playing squash?
My dad played for the county of Middlesex in England as a vet, and he first took me on court at the age of 7, and it went from there really.
And what's the biggest adjustment you had to make when you moved to the professional tour?
Definitely had to change my whole game plan. In juniors you can afford to do random things and go short a lot more, but as a senior you have to be far more patient.
How would you describe your playing style?
A bit too defensive. I'm trying to work on my attacking game. I like to lob, keep my opponent behind me, but at the moment I'm really keen to develop more of an attacking style of play.
Yeah, it seems to be the general way squash is wanting to go.
Yeah.
So thinking of the players that you've played over the years, who would you say is the funniest?
Probably Linda Sharman. She's always got something to say on court. She comes out with funny comments when she doesn't like the rest decision. And currently on tour, I think Karen Kronemeyer always gets the crowd laughing.
She really did us the other night, didn't she?
She did, yes.
Was that distracting for you at all, or did it work fine?
No, it was fine. It was. I just decided to keep my mouth shut at all times, even when she was sort of having a go at me. And I think by keeping my mouth shut, it actually worked in my favour.
Who would you say is the best dressed person on tour?
Well, these days, looking at Natasha Khan's outfits, I think she definitely comes across very well on court, and I think she's going for that title anyway. So, yeah, Natasha Khan.
And worst dressed?
I wouldn't like to say. I don't really have anyone in mind either, so I think all the Whisper girls are quite well turned out.
Yeah, very good. And who's the most deceptive?
Probably Rachel Grinham. You kind of never know where the ball's going with her, and she can play shots from anywhere.
What about who's the hardest hitter?
Shelley Kitchen.
Who's the best retriever?
Alison Waters gets a lot of balls back. I play her a lot in friendlies, in training, and it can be quite frustrating because you think you've hit a winner about 3 times and she always seems to get the ball back.
And who's the best mover?
That's a tricky one, actually. No, Nicole David, definitely. Yeah.
The best mover.
Yeah.
And who do you think displays the best sportsmanship or overall honesty?
That's a hard one as well, really. I think all the girls like to be quite honest if they can. I mean, there are a few exceptions, but yeah, that's a tough.
So
one
the
to
whole
answer.
lot, then, huh?
Yeah.
And who would you say is the one who you would have to was naturally gifted with that racket?
Without a doubt, Natalie Granger.
Yeah.
Real gifted player. Yeah. Lucky.